Well, hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are we're live, and we're going to talk about some Star Wars Legion, Boba Fett news. We can chat about whatever you guys want. I figured, since I've been doing less videos lately, I wanted to talk a little bit more, kind of do some more streams, and I'm doing this one on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, so we can pull up some of the new images, because AMG has been showing us some new stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool. And we already got some people in chat. So what's going on, JJ? He says, have you seen the new AMG post for the X-Wing packs? I probably have not yet, so I'm going to go look right now. The latest thing I see from AMG is about Marvel Crisis Protocol, and more Marvel Crisis Protocol, and more Marvel Crisis Protocol, and more Marvel Crisis Protocol. So there's nothing on their Twitter. I don't know where that maybe they posted. But yeah, I'm curious. On Discord. Oh, is that how AMG is putting out their information now? Is it through Discord? Oh, the Razor Crest. Oh, I see. Yeah, the Razor Crest has box art now. Oh, that's kind of cool. And then the Pride of Mandalore for that card pack. Okay, so they teased some of the box art in Discords only. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, let me hop over. Yeah. So if you guys aren't in on my Discord already, you probably should be. JJ posts a lot of that X-Wing stuff. That's pretty cool. So Pride of Mandalore. I'm gonna have to do a whole nother video about that. No, that's cool. That is really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of Mandalorian stuff. A lot of Mandalorian stuff coming. And of course, that does kind of factor into today's video. So what is going on, everybody else? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We can definitely talk some more X-Wing, but I had definitely only pre-planned stuff for Boba Fett, but it is certainly all related, right? We are in the month of Book of Boba Fett coming out. And in that spirit, AMG is early kind of teased the very first Boba Fett. Not the very first Boba Fett, but the first miniature that was completely done under AMG's umbrella. I'm really curious on if Luke Eddy actually worked on this unit or not, or what is going on. But so if you guys basically, if you missed out on all the news from Mini Stravaganza, AMG was talking a little bit about the Shadow Collective that's going to be coming out, and basically a lot of Mandalorian themed things, and they teased a lot of stuff. They teased a lot of things that are going to be coming, like Ewoks are going to be coming in 2023, and Ahsoka. They confirmed Ahsoka, and a lot of that type of stuff. But they also had a little rendering of this model, which is Boba Fett as kind of represented in Mandalorian season 2, and so all we had was a rendering, and then like this week they surprised everybody with a Legion painting stream, and all of a sudden it starts out like this. I'm like, oh yeah, guys, by the way, we're painting the new Boba Fett. And so this is important for a number of reasons, and the reason I wanted to do a live stream and talk about it is because we were kind of led to believe that this was something that was still like really, really far out. But the fact that they've got a miniature in hand already means it's much closer to reality than we think. So that is pretty interesting. That they already have, because they don't do printing or painting videos for like 3D printed prototypes. Usually when they're doing these type of painting videos, this is on a production mini. And it could be like a production prototype. It could be an early production sample. But basically, this is how the mini's going to look. Tactical rock and all. And so that much is really cool. And so we got a couple of little details about it. We're going to have 2 different head sculpts. So that much is cool. I'm really digging the helmetless head sculpt there. That's pretty cool. And so they kind of did some work on getting this thing kind of together, and so it looks kind of good, and so I kind of like that, but I also have some questions. Now, we didn't get a whole lot of news about the Mandalorian. We really didn't get any news about the unit other than it's probably likely coming out next year, and will probably likely come out with the other things that they kind of teased during mini Stravaganza. So this is exciting for a number of reasons, because it's much closer than we thought. So that is really cool. Now we're still curious what else is going to be coming in this wave, and there's a whole lot more spoilers and a whole lot more things for them to show us. And so I thought that was a pretty cool thing. So basically, if you hadn't seen, if you're just joining us, AMG this week spoiled the sculpt, an in-person model of the Boba Fett from basically the Merc Boba Fett that we're going to be seeing coming to Star Wars Legion. And of course, this is not the same Boba Fett we've already got. This is a whole new Boba Fett, and we'll likely have some new command cards, which will likely elevate both versions of Boba Fett. It's and perhaps the old version of Boba Fett will now be banned. Who knows if Boba Fett will even be around anymore? Or maybe he'll just be fundamentally changed, because there's supposed to be some new cards. There's still a whole lot more we don't know about what comes in the Shadow Collective box. And so that's there's a whole lot going on there. And how is it going, everybody? Hopefully you guys are doing well, getting ready to kick off a really cool weekend. I want to hear from you guys. Where is everybody watching from? Where are you guys? Are you guys planning on doing any gaming this weekend? And what are you most looking forward to coming from Legion that we know about so far? Because we also, in addition to Boba Fett, we have the entire Shadow Collective is coming. It's there's a whole lot of stuff coming, and so I'm wondering, I don't think Luke Eddy's wave that he was working on for the Shadow Collective is only this one box, right? It would be really strange for me for Luke to kind of be like, all right, this is my wave. Alex Davey had his freaking 8 expansions or something like that for his Kashyyyk wave, and then his Luke Eddy's wave just one single expansion, just Shadow Collective. So I'm really curious if there's going to be more. If there's going to be more than just this. And so, one thing we do know is supposed to be coming out with this is Boba Fett. And I was under the impression that Luke did this, and then AMG, after letting Luke go, started working on Boba Fett. And that's what I was thinking. Is like, wait, why is he coming out? Why do we have him in hand so soon? Does that mean that this stuff is put on hold and all of that? There's a whole lot of questions about that I kind of wonder about. Memes that float my boat says, do you think they will ever add Kylo 10 to Legions? I think you mean Kylo Ren. And I think, I think the sequel trilogy stuff certainly is possible, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think it's more of a distant project that they might do someday. I don't think they would do it within the next 2 or 3 years. So maybe beyond, maybe past 2025, it's possible. Let's see. One True Haldir says, honestly, I'm not planning on getting anything until Shadow Collective. I'm hoping it's a massive wave. It's. I'm hoping there's a lot more to it. And the other thing is, like, these gauntlet fighters in the background. Now, I'm really wondering what's going on with them, because they show a lot of gauntlet fighters in this artwork, right? 1, 2, 3, like there's why is there so many gauntlet fighters? Are they? Because the gauntlet fighter is like bigger than the Millennium Falcon, so there's no way they're going to put a gauntlet fighter in this game. Is there like a Fang fighter or a smaller Mandalorian fighter that they are making? Are they making Fang fighters? The Concord Dawn Protectorate sort of fighters, because those are much smaller, and those potentially could, land, especially if the wings go up, then they would have a profile to be able to land and be like drop craft, and is the Shadow Collective going to have vehicles? That's one of the real big questions here. But yeah, let's see. How about some Commander Cody? Oh man, that would be amazing. I would love that. What's going on, Doug? He really likes the Boba Fett. He thinks they're done with the Clone Wars for right now. I don't know. I don't think that they're done with the Clone Wars for right now. I guess it depends on how long you mean for right now. Clone Wars are still behind the Empire and the Rebellion, but I think with Shadow Collective coming out, there probably needs to be more Merc inclusion. And if you think about, if you've got, for those of you who played X-Wing for a while, when Scum and Villainy first got introduced, you had just had Rebels and Empire, and then there was Scum and Villainy, and then like Scum and Villainy got like a whole wave all to themselves. And then, like, from that point forward, every wave would have twice as much Scum and Villainy as it did Rebels and Empire. So you might get, like, one Rebel ship, one Empire ship, and two Scum and Villainy ships, you know. And they kind of did that for a long time to kind of catch Scum and Villainy up. And it wouldn't surprise me if they start doing that with these guys. The interesting thing about Shadow Collective and all of these, like, Merc-type faction groups is there's a lot of stuff that is going to have crossover. And the great thing about the way they're doing this is these guys can be hired by other factions too. So Shadow Collective is going to provide new things for your Republic army, for your Separatist army, for your Rebel army, for your Imperial army. Supposedly, you know, there maybe Rebels don't have access to any of it. I doubt that, but you know, I think that there's definitely going to be those options. I think maybe Boba Fett is an option that could work with the Rebels, since he was kind of on the side of good, fighting against the Empire in The Mandalorian. I think this version of Boba is definitely going to be somebody that could work for the Rebels. He was crushing stormtrooper heads in, right? So in this pose, this was literally him fighting against the Empire, crushing stormtroopers. So yeah, I think... and One True Helder does a good point here. He says, I'm pretty sure they confirmed Ahsoka, so I don't think that they're done with the Clone Wars. And you're absolutely right. They did confirm Ahsoka, and also Ewoks. So they're still doing stuff all over the place. Granted, I'm going to throw one curveball at you. They didn't confirm which Ahsoka we're getting. So we don't know if we're getting Rosario Dawson, Mandalorian Ahsoka. We don't know if we're getting, you know, Ashley Eckstein Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels, like Fulcrum Ahsoka, right? We don't know if we're getting little kid Snips. We don't know if we're getting, you know, a Merc Ahsoka, you know, like, or if we're getting like teenage Ahsoka, you know. And so I think realistically the first Ahsoka you get is kind of a younger Ahsoka. Maybe in between like season 1 and season 6 or something like that. Maybe closer to season 5 appearance or something. You know, it's one that's a little older but still is like the young. Because I think really what the Republic needs with Ahsoka coming is operatives, Jedi operatives. You know, I think that would be really, really fun to be able to take like Yoda and Anakin and Ahsoka and then 3 stormtroopers and then five character build. Go. You know, 5 activations. No, 6 activations. I can't do math. 3 plus 3 is 5 in my universe. What does it add up to in your universe? So, still need Ventress. That's a great operative to add. I think there's a lot of separatist Force users that need to show up in this game, especially to kind of counterbalance all of the Jedi Masters, the Jedi Council, the Jedi Grandmasters, and Jedi Knights. And there's so many Jedi available to the Republic. And there's a much less for the Separatists, but there still are enough to fill out this game between Ventress, between the other Night Sisters, which you could easily make them Force users, Mother Talzin, and don't forget Savage Opress. You know, there's a lot of that stuff available, and so I think that's going to be a really fun thing. Barriss, yes, Darkside Barriss, absolutely, and Pong Krell. I'm going to say I will really want Pong Krell to have incognito to kind of represent that traitor mechanic. So basically your other side can't shoot at him until it's too late and he reveals himself. You know, and maybe he even has another card called like Epic Reveal or something like that, where instead of him just kind of sneaking up, like he does it, casts off the incognito and gains like 2 dodge tokens and 2 aim tokens and then goes, you know, or something like that, something crazy. So he like casts it off and then he charges with extra survivability for this turn. You know, there's and Durg. Oh yeah, Durg just came back in one of the comics, I believe. So there's so much, and I wouldn't even mind if they did another version of Grievous at one point. I would love to see Grievous in that cycle, in that wheel cycle, like a mounted Grievous as a commander. I think that would be really, really fun. Because I don't like Grievous as command cards. So I think General Grievous is one of those people that definitely needs another version to improve his command cards. But that's... But yeah, and oh yes, and the HMP gunships. Yeah, David is saying one of the AI cards for Separatists has a droid gunship. Yeah, absolutely. I think the HMP gunship is a perfect inclusion into the game. They had talked a little bit about doing vulture droids that were standing up and walking around, and so like I think if they're going to do that, you know, then maybe they do a it's like a whole new wave of heavies and stuff like that, of like ships, ships landing off, like more drop craft. Because a lot of us still want the LAT. The LAT LE is okay, but I think a lot of people want like the Republic LAT. So that was one. True Howler says, I personally don't see Pong Krell coming before Ventress. Oh, you'd happy to reprove? Oh, well, yeah, I don't know about the order, but Pong Krell is definitely a character I want to see in this game, because I just think he could be so much fun in this game. Like, he could easily be like a 200-point character. A 200-point... I don't know if you would make him a commander. I think of him as an operative. I think of him as an operative that is like almost like Palpatine level. Like, he's in there just to mess with your opponent and then fight. And, he messes with them when he's incognito, and then once he reveals himself, now he's vulnerable, and so it's like, wait, I paid 200 points for him. Do I want him to not be attacking? And so you have some cool... I wouldn't make him dual faction at all. I think we only ever see him separatist. And the other reason why, I mean, of course, there's a lore reason why you could make him dual faction, but I think the reason you don't make him dual faction is because the Republic has too many Jedi already for game balance. Like, every other faction will be completely lopsided. So let's do what we can. Let's pluck what we can for the separatists. So, Pong Krell would be, a really cool character just to give to the separatists. So because then you're going to have... You got Maul and Dooku, and some people don't even like that fact that Maul is there. Again, you got to take what you can get. Maul and Dooku, Savage Opress, Asajj Ventress, of course, Darth Sidious. You could do Palpatine for the separatists, and I'd love to see him with like 2 lightsabers, like you see him fight against Maul and Savage. Like, I think that would be a really cool version of Emperor Palpatine to get, of Lord Sidious. So I like that idea, but yeah. So but I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see what AMG does with this. Now, another thing I think is particularly interesting is that they're doing like this era Boba Fett, but we're also about to get the book of Boba Fett, which is gonna probably warrant a whole nother version of Boba Fett, right? And maybe the idea is this time he'll be an operative, a merc operative, and maybe book of Boba Fett will be a commander, right? If he's trying to sit on the throne, he kind of seems like he ought to be commander at that point. And so I guess I could see another Boba Fett someday. But I would say, if you're AMG, try not to rush into it too fast. Try not to rush into it too fast because, we don't know how many seasons of the Book of Boba Fett we're going to end up getting when all things are said and done. And he might, we. One of the reasons that the Empire and Rebels are so fleshed out is because you already had 3 movies and then tons of books and comics and all this stuff. You had like 20 to 30 years of history before they could sit down and be like, okay, what do we want to be? How do we want characters to look? How many versions of these characters do we want? And when you're trying to make content for like live, you're trying to make a miniature for live shows and media that's coming out in real time. It's hard to kind of get the balance right. Because you don't know how important he's going to end up being. I think so. You think Maul is going to make more sense when we get the droid invasion? You think it would be cool if he is a commander and the only one in that force? Even for droid invasion, which from what I understand is the droid invasion is supposed to represent the basically the Battle of Naboo. In that context, Maul was not a commander. Maul was never, at least the episode 1 Darth Maul character was never a commander. Now, definitely the version of Maul that we're getting with the Shadow Collective, he's definitely in commander mode right there with the metal legs, with the dark saber. He absolutely has that commander vibe going on. By the way, speaking of darksabers, giveaways and stuff, we're still doing the lightsaber giveaway, so if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's going to enter you for that lightsaber giveaway. We also have 12 Days of Life Day going on, so that is also cool. But I actually I finally got, I know some people have been asking me, are you going to review the darksaber, the Hasbro Black Series darksaber that I ordered a year ago, like last November or October of 2020. finally shipped today. So I'm like, oh, goodness. So someday next week, shipping system is low, and I know some people have mailed promos. Some of my other winners and stuff that I've mailed things to have said, look, it's been a couple of weeks. It still hasn't shown up yet. And I'm like, you got to just give it time. Postal service has been going slow lately. And, so that is kind of how that goes. Speaking of giveaways, too, I got some more I have to announce on. Oh, let's do a giveaway, by the way. Let's do a giveaway. What do I got here? I got some... Oh, man. All right, so I've got some old X-Wing promos. Oh, these are cool. All right, let's see. How many of you guys play X-Wing, the miniatures game? All right, this is super cool. All right, so I've got 10 Num B-Wing pilot. It's a real old promo here for X-Wing 1.0. I actually have 2 of these in front of me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one away in the stream. Just give me a hashtag X-Wing in chat, and I'll do the other one on Discord. So if you don't win the one for the live stream, then you will have an opportunity to win one in Discord. So yeah, and that's just, and this is not even a 12 Days of Life Day giveaway. So this is just a bonus giveaway. I'm just doing more and more giveaways because I'm so grateful for you guys. So I thought that would be kind of cool. But yeah, we'll let that run for a little bit, and before we wrap up, I'll make sure I announce a winner, because I want to give you guys time to win. And plus, if you guys are watching this on demand later, there's still going to be time to let that go, because I'll leave it run in Discord for like a week or two, so you'll have some time to do that. And that's kind of one of the other things that's kind of cool about the Discord is we have like painting channels, we've got different game channels for X-Wing, Armada, Legion, even 40K has some stuff down there. We're family friendly, and we do giveaways in there from time to time. And I also, if you guys, sometimes people are looking for help or looking for like ask questions about playmats or terrain and things like that, I have a section in there that's all about some of the more helpful videos that I have that kind of get lost in all of it, because I've been doing this for years and years now. So there's certain videos that I wanted to kind of archive and have in one easy to find place. So I've got a video library in there with like reviews, like third-party reviews, or X-Wing battle reports, or helpful videos like learning or tutorial type videos. So a lot of that stuff is all linked in the in the video library section of Discord too. So it's both informative and welcoming. So and all that. And I have a lot of stuff is also linked over on Crabbok.com too, like the AI systems for Legion and Armada are over there. So that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, so if you guys are just joining us, we are doing the giveaway. We'll just do a hashtag X-Wing in chat. And you have a chance to win an X-Wing promo. Even though this is more of a Legion stream, we can talk about any games you want. I just kind of go with whatever promos I happen to have in front of me, because sometimes I have like a little goodie bag kind of here at the streaming station. So so that's kind of how that goes. Let's see what else we've got going on. So yeah, they did kind of preview Boba Fett in a surprise kind of painting stream. We got 2 different heads over here too. They got the armored head, and of course the really nice Tamira Morrison unarmored head. And I love that facial sculpt on there too. That is very, very cool. So far we only have 2 people that want the X-Wing promo, so that's there you go. All right. But yeah, so this looks pretty cool. It's a nice sculpt. It definitely captures that feel. I'm glad they didn't go with the robed version of Boba Fett before he put on his armor too, because that would have been creepy. So I think they made the right choice trying to figure out the right one to go with. But I want to hear from you guys too. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys want to see next? What are you excited about? Because the Shadow Collective box just seems like it's going to have so much stuff in it. If we basically we're getting the Pikes over there. We're getting the Pikes. We're getting and they're going to have like a leader and a core unit, right? We're getting Black Sun, which is going to have a leader and I'm assuming a core unit. And then we're getting the Mandalorian Super Commandos, and then we're getting the Darth Maul as a commander. So I'm assuming the Mando Super Commandos or the Maul-Delorians are going to be basically special forces. So you're going to have, 2 core options, some other, like, I guess 3 potential commander options, special forces, and maybe this Maul can serve as an operative, depending on, how you want to deploy him, because there was a lot of like subtle hints that they talked about, depending on where he was or how the army was built, how he might have a different function. So yeah, and I'm curious, like, why they have all the ships in the background, if there's going to be heavy vehicles or anything else that launches with this wave, like, and are any of these things going to be separate too? Because, like, here's one of my concerns. What if this whole box is probably going to be an expensive box. Like, I don't know if this box is going to be less than $100, or at least less than $89. And so if that's the case, what if they only give you 1 unit of Mandalorian super commandos? All right, 1 SF unit. So, like, are people going to have to buy 3 of these new starters just to just to kind of get their Mandalorians? Like, that's one of the things that I really wonder about. And how soon until we get a Mandalorian battle force or sub faction? So if you guys aren't familiar with the news for battle forces and what battle forces are, basically they're kind of like sub factions of the existing factions, or their own independent sub faction, which is what the Shadow Collective is. It's going to be kind of a standalone sub faction, and like Maul and the Mandalorian super commandos, or the Mandalorians, will only work in a Shadow Collective sub-faction, whereas the other units in here can potentially go to other factions as well. And so like, I think that's a really cool way to do it. I like the way that they're doing that. It's going to mean a little bit more paperwork on the end user side to kind of keep everything straight on what can go where, and if there's any drawbacks or disadvantages to that. There's going to be other special the battle forces that are coming out too. Like, you have the Hoth, both Empire and Rebellion are getting their, like, Blizzard Force, and then the Echo Base Defenders, and then you're going to have the Droid Invasion for the Separatists, and also the 501st for the Republic. Are some those are the first battle forces that they've announced, with the possibility that there definitely could be more. And I think that that's really exciting. It also makes people say, all right, well, where's my Mandalorian sub-faction or battle force? Where is my... I mean, and it doesn't even have to be just Mandalorians. It could do like a Death Watch version. I could definitely see... And that should be, in my opinion, that should be a box that comes here. So you should get, like, Death Watch Mandalorians. Like, that should be a box, and you should have, like, Pre Vizsla in there, and then a unit of Mandalorians, and maybe even Bo-Katan in there as well. And so have, like, that come with the rules for the battle force of Death Watch, and you can use the Mandalorians with them, perhaps. You can use Clan Ren with them, perhaps, and all this other stuff, like, should all be usable in this. And the same thing, we should get, another Wookiee unit. Luke Eddy just retweeted some old concept art of a big, heavy gun emplacement, and I should have found it and put it in the slideshow. I wanted to do that, but yeah, we talked about that. If they had kept doing Wookiees, he wanted to do a basically an emplacement turret for Wookiees, because there was concept art and there was models made for the Battle of Kashyyyk. So really, really cool. Craig says, now that we've got Lando, what about Lobot and Bespin guards? Yes, that's a great idea. I think we could definitely do that. You could have, Bespin security force, or whatever. I mean, sometimes it can be kind of tricky to come up with a name for these things, but yeah, I think that definitely works. You could have Ugnaughts in there too. Ugnaughts could work in a lot of different things. It'd be a little hard to fill that whole thing out. Now, cloud cars could definitely work. You could definitely do cloud cars, because they're not that much bigger than a snowspeeder. So I think cloud cars would work in this game. They're atmospheric. People long have argued and said they should never show up in X-Wing, because they're strictly an atmospheric vehicle. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna announce the winner for the 9 num right now, and that is going to be Rick K. Congratulations, Rick K. You won this 9 num. The other one is going to go up on in Discord after I finish the stream. So all you have to do is shoot me an email, Rick, at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and you'll win that. So congratulations to Rick K. Thank you so much. And anybody else you didn't win, don't worry. There's opportunity to win over on Discord. And basically, how that works too is I'll take a photo, I'll put it up there. You just have to react with a double critical emoji, and then in 2 weeks I'll actually pick a winner from that list, and I'll tag you in the giveaways channel, so you'll get a Discord notification if you win. So that's a cool way to do that. And this way, that's, you know, as opposed to like my YouTube giveaways where you have to watch to the end of the video. So so that much is really cool. And I just thought, so I kind of really like that they're kind of still giving us Legion news and Legion stuff. It's like the one game they're, you know, really, you know, big about continuing to support. Although we did just get some X-Wing stuff today, so I'm going to have to pile through that a little bit more. We'll probably talk about that this weekend, as there's definitely some new X-Wing teasers out there. And of course, there's a lot to talk about. You know, there's more Legion expansions that just came out. We're going to be talking about that. We've got the Darksaber on the way. So a whole lot of videos, whole lot of content, whole lot of things to talk about. If you guys haven't already seen the new luxury playstyle tokens, you definitely want to head over there. We've got the Legion. The first set of Legion tokens are now available for you to order. Again, use that Crabbok VIP code to save 15%. The next set of tokens should be available in a couple of weeks for pre-order too, so that's going to be exciting. And then there's a lot of new X-Wing tokens that are out there, so a lot of cool stuff like that. They make great stocking stuffers if you're into that sort of thing. And yeah, we'll be bringing you more stuff. I think tomorrow we're taking a look at the Unfathomable board game from Fantasy Flight Games, the remake of the old Battlestar Galactica. Do we have any Battlestar Galactica fans in chat? That's what I'm curious about. Nicholas says, shame about Armada, though. It was definitely a bummer to hear that Armada was being put on the back burner, but at the same time, I think they're trying to get everything sorted out. There's supposed to be another game coming out, too, by AMG, and I think they're a little overwhelmed right now. I think, looking back, now that the dust has had time to settle, I think it was the right decision to put Armada on hold, or at least new product development for Armada on hold right now. I think that's the smartest thing they could have done with being overwhelmed, because Armada's a complex game, and you know, it's almost like maybe they should have done that for X-Wing too, with all these changes that have kind of gone over. Some people like it, some people don't. But you know, because I don't know if it'll just end up being road, but the whole like you bumping thing where there's no consequence for bumping into people anymore is just like, I don't know. It seems like so many huge changes. So the old Battlestar Galactica game, they remade that into a game called Unfathomable. Of course, you know, they did lose the Battlestar Galactica license, and that's always a bummer. But the gameplay was always really fun. Now, granted, I really wish it was still Battlestar Galactica because, again, great game, and the theme is fun. It really is fun. Like, you're a Cylon. No, you're a Cylon. But in this time, some people are kind of going crazy, turning into hybrids, and potentially praying to elder gods and things like that. And so you're trying to find out who is the traitor on board your ship. And so it's pretty cool. So I like what's going on with this game. You will be taking a first look at it tomorrow morning, so hang out with us. Be sure to tune in. You won't want to miss that. But anybody just joining us, just a recap, you know, AMG did tease the new Boba Fett model. This is one that we didn't expect to see for a long time. They had only just hinted about it at the mini extravaganza. They showed us a little 3D mock-up where they had worked on this a little bit and just kind of said, hey, this is the first one developed completely under AMG. And so I'll be very much looking to the credits when this comes out. I definitely want to see, you know, was Luke, was this one done while Luke Eddy was still on board, or is this one done completely without any of the Legion folks? Is this one completely designed by the existing AMG team? And that's one of the things that I'm curious about, because I'm curious how well they can actually design Legion product right now. You know, and my gut tells me that Luke probably worked on this one while under AMG. And then as soon as this one was like, okay, it looks good, and that's when they probably let him go. You know, that's kind of my thought process. But we'll have to see, you know, because I'm really curious how AMG is going to, you know, be designing content, and especially with all the changes that have come with X-Wing and stuff like that. Like, are they going to do some more like drastic changes with games like Legion and even presumably Armada someday? I'm not sure, but I know they like to lean more towards the fun aspect, and I won't lie to you, I have a ton of fun when playing Legion. So, and I love Marvel Crisis Protocol too. It's a very very fun game. So, as long as they go into it with fun in their mindset, then I think that should be I think that there's hope. So I'm not all doom and gloom about a lot of this stuff. It does stink that this whole transition happened in the way that it did, but all we can do is play the hand we're dealt, and that's all I can do right now. So let's see how this guy. Hey, the sculpt looks good. I'll say that much for it. It looks really good, and all of the Shadow Collective stuff coming looks pretty good too. So let's see what comes next. And also, let's see what AMG's next game is, because I'm really interested in learning more about that whenever they're ready to reveal it, if it's still coming. One of the things, One True Halder says, one of the things I love that they're doing specifically for Legion, they have been posting, advertising older products for Empire and Rebels. I do like that they've been doing that, and I notice that they only do like social media posts. Generally, just general social media posts for Legion and Marvel Crisis Protocol, which makes me like they don't, even though they're still trying to get reprints done for X-Wing and Armada, like they don't advertise Armada at all, and I haven't seen a single X-Wing post in forever. So like I wonder, and I do really like that they'll just share Legion photos, even for no reason, just to be like, hey guys, don't forget this game exists. We want you to remember that this game exists, because I think Legion is their style of game. It's minis on a sprue. It's not pre-painted. That's how they're accustomed to doing things, So I'm curious, how much new X-Wing content they're going to develop. I'm curious. How long it'll be before they get around to doing that, or if they will do that, and but I definitely think they're going to keep going with Legion. Because the way that they're, if you read the writing on the wall, it definitely seems like they want to keep going with Legion. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And Armada, what? Take your time, guys. There's still a ton of Armada product. I'm looking at, I'm doing ship breakdowns right now for Armada, and one of the things I want to do next year is play more 600-point games. I think that can be a really fun thing to do, and it would totally shake up the game a little bit, and just give people a little something new, a new infusion of the Armada playing experience. Not exclusively 600-point games, but just to do some, it'd be fun. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Be sure to check all the links down in the description below. Don't forget to hop in Discord, and I will talk to you guys soon. Again, also don't forget to get your holiday gift orders in. Also, tell your stores that want to run tournaments, if they're looking for prize support, definitely check out Luxury Playstyle. Also, those use that code Crabbok VIP, save 15%. If you're running a Legion tournament, like a set of those ordered tokens make a super awesome prize. So that's some really cool stuff. But so new Boba Fett, they painted him on stream, and it looks pretty good. They didn't really tell us much, but it does seem like he's going to be coming out with the Shadow Collective, or at least in close proximity to that, and whatever else is coming out with the Shadow Collective. As far as, I don't even know if we're calling them waves anymore, or if it's just everything's going to be individual releases now. But however it's going to work, we're going to see him. They've already got a model in hand, so he looks good, and it's happened much sooner than I thought. So good on them, and I just wish they would actually get that website working and actually have like posting things instead of letting things kind of major news kind of slip through in the middle of a live stream that like only 50 people were watching. Like you have much bigger platforms. Use them. Post to your website, post to social media, like when you have a big announcement. Don't just be like, oh, and by the way, guys, we're also making Sam Witwer as Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, and he's going to be in the next wave, by the way. No, and don't take that as a sign. That's not, obviously that's not happening, but I feel like that's how they're kind of doing it. They're just like, oh, and by the way, don't, oh, and by the way us, like, do big things, and we want to hear about them, All right. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you again. And as always, have a great day. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this channel possible. Don't forget, if you are wrestling a jellyfish, make sure you're wearing a full wetsuit because they can sting, and you may have to pee all over yourself to get the stinger stuff off. That's great.